In this video, we are going to go over the 10-minute pre-trip and the new COVID-19 protocol. Let's discuss the COVID-19 protocol. You must wear a mask while students or staff are present. You will be provided with reusable masks. You are to remind your students they can wear a mask. Disinfectant spray will be provided for you to wipe down high-touch areas in between routes. There will be a sanitation station on your bus. There will be managed seating for students on the bus. The buses will be sprayed after the morning and afternoon runs. Before you get on the bus to do your pre-trip, make sure you have your CDL license with you and you have a face mask on. It's required. The first thing you need to do is clock in. Turn the ignition to the on position. This will activate the Synovia tablet. Press the start. Enter your employee number. Press next. Select driver. Select regular route. After the authentication, your name should appear. Press continue to finish clocking in. Now we're going to perform a safe start. Your spring brakes should be activated. Your low air warning lights and buzzer should be on. Turn the ignition to the start position, then let it go. The bus should start automatically. Place your brake stick between the service brake pedal and the bottom of your seat. Turn on your headlights. Turn on your right turn signal indicator and your amber loading lights. Use your crossover mirror to check the amber loading lights in the front. Now you will go to the back of the bus, checking the seat bottoms, making sure that the seat bottoms are secured to the frames and the frames are secured to the floor. You will check each emergency window you come to, making sure that it opens and closes smoothly, it latches securely, and that the emergency buzzer sounds. Continue to check the seat bottoms and the emergency windows until you reach the back door. If the red lanyard is still hanging in your emergency door window, you must get your bus fogged before leaving your park location, or you can get a spare bus. Open your rear emergency door and check your brake lights, your amber loading lights, and your right turn signal. As you walk to the front, you will be checking the seat backs, ensuring they are secured to the frames and the frames are secured to the floor. When you get to the rear hatch, make sure it is in the locked position. Open it up to the vent position to check the strobe light. Close the rear hatch vent and continue to check your seat backs as you go to the front. Don't forget to check your front emergency hatch and make sure it is in the locked position. Turn on your left turn indicator and walk to the back of the bus. Make sure all your seatbelts are accessible and that none of them are tangled. This is what it should look like. Check to make sure your 3 reflective triangles are present. Open the rear emergency door. The buzzer should be sounding. Check your rear lights. Check your left turn signal, your brake lights, and your amber loading lights. Walk to the front of the bus. Before loading students, all windows and hatches must be open to provide maximum air circulation. Turn off your left turn signal and activate your hazard lights. Remove your brake stick. Check your sanitation station. It's located just below the key lockbox. You can check the level with a flashlight. When the cartridge is empty, pull to the quick service station for a replacement. Proceed out the door and go to the right. Check your service door. Check your entry lights. Check your clip lights. Check your turn signal hazard lights. Check your reflective tape and reflectors. Check under the bus for any leaks or hanging wires. Checking your rear tires. Make sure that the tread depth is good and the tread has no damage. Check the sidewall of the tire. make sure that the recap is not coming loose. Check the lug nuts, make sure they're all present, and the axle seal, and make sure it is not leaking. Make sure your tires are properly inflated. Make sure there are no leaks inside the fueling door. Propane buses have no fuel caps. Check under the tail of the bus for any hanging wires or leaks. Proceed to the rear of the bus. Check your clip lights, red loading lights, hazard lights, tail lights. Check your reflective tape and reflectors. Check for any damage or graffiti. Check between the rear dual tires. Make sure there is nothing lodged in them. Open the emergency exit door. Check for any damage. Check the door seal. Make sure it locks into the open position. Close and lock the emergency door. Proceed to the driver's side of the bus. Check for any body damage or graffiti. Check your clip lights, your turn signal and hazard lights. Check your reflective tape and reflectors. Check under the bus for any leaks or hanging wires. Check your rear tire tread and sidewalls for any damage. Make sure your recaps are not separating. Check your lug nuts and make sure they are all present and tight. Check your rear axle seal for any leaks. Check your tire inflation. Check your exhaust pipe. Proceed to your stop sign. Check the wires, cable, cotter pin, and lights. Make sure it is securely attached to the bus. Make sure your battery and fuse door are latched. Make sure your left side mirrors are securely attached. Make sure your hood latch is secure. Make sure your left turn signal and crossover mirror are secured to the bus. Check your tire tread and sidewalls for any damage. Check your lug nuts, make sure they are tight. Check your hub oil seal for any leaks, and check your tire inflation. Go to the front of the bus. Check your clip lights, red loading lights, turn signal, hazard lights, and headlights. Check your reflective tape. Check for any body damage or graffiti. Check under the bus for any leaks or hanging wires. Check your crossing gate. Make sure it is not damaged and it is securely attached to the bus. Make sure your right crossover mirror, right turn signal, and right mirrors are securely attached to the bus. Make sure your hood is latched. Check your front right tire, tread, and sidewalls for damage. Make sure your lug nuts are all present and tight. Check your hub oil seal for any leaks. Check your tire inflation. Proceed to the inside of the bus. Check your steel roll lights and handrails. Check your emergency equipment. Make sure your body fluid cleanup kit and first aid kit are present and fully stocked. Make sure your fire extinguisher is fully charged. Make sure your seatbelt cutter is present and accessible. Check your disinfectant spray and single-use towels. Make sure you have enough to sanitize all high-touch areas after each of your runs. Sit down, buckle your seatbelt, make sure it fastens and is not damaged. Close the service door. Make sure your camera system is working. The green circular light on your control panel must be on. Check your control panel. Cycle each of your fans through all of their speeds. Listen and make sure they all work. Turn on each of your passenger lights and your driver dome light. Make sure they are all working. Then turn your dome light and passenger lights off. Perform a radio check. Make sure you can send and receive messages. Remember, we do not use dispatch for radio checks. Check your windshield washer and wipers. Make sure our wipers work on all speeds. Check your high beam indicator and your four-way hazard indicators. Check all your gauges. Make sure they are accurate. Check your steering wheel play and your horn. Check your reverse beeper. With the park and brake on, cover your service brake and shift to reverse. Make sure your reverse beeper is working. Never have someone stand behind the bus to check your reverse lights. If your bus is equipped with a reverse camera, it will show up in the student mirror. Shift back to neutral. Now it's time to check your parking brake. Shift down to drive and slightly accelerate, no more than 1200 RPMs. The bus should not move. Then shift back to neutral. It's time for your air leakage test. Turn the ignition off and then place the key in the on position. Firmly press the service brake. After the initial drop, you will time 1 minute. Make sure you do not lose more than 3 psi in 1 minute. When the minute is up, start the bus by turning the key to the start position and then letting it go. Remember, propane buses start automatically. Cancel your hazard lights. Record your pre-trip inspection. Press the inspection key on the Synovia tablet. Select Perform. Select the correct pre-trip for your bus. Record any defect for every page. If there are none, press Next. On the last page, select Send. Press Yes to digitally sign the inspection. This will log and save the inspection. Now let's go over the COVID protocols during your run. Drivers are required to wear their face mask at all times while student or staff are present. Reusable face masks will be provided for all drivers. Disposable gloves will be provided. Face shields are optional, but we highly recommend that they be used while loading and unloading. Drivers are to remind your students to wear their face mask if they have one. Remember, you cannot force students to wear a face mask. It is recommended you use a face shield while loading and unloading students at all bus stops and schools. While driving, we recommend you keep the face shield in the up position. Before you sanitize your bus between the morning routes, you must pull away from the loading zone to a safe location. On your afternoon routes, pull to a safe location after you have dropped your last student. You should not load your students until you have sanitized the high-touch areas. It is recommended we use our disposable gloves when we disinfect our high-touch areas. Spray the driver's compartment, including the steering wheel, parking brake, and gear shift. Never spray the control panel. Spray the handrails. Spray the seat backs, buckles, and seat tops on the left and the right, working your way to the back of the bus. Wipe down your seat backs, your seat tops, and your buckles on the left and the right as you work your way to the front of the bus. Wipe down the driver's compartment and the handrails. Stow your sanitizer and single-use towels. Remember to keep the sanitizer in a safe place out of the student's reach. Pick up all your dirty single-use towels, dispose of them in the trash can, then dispose your gloves. Don't forget to use the sanitizing station and sanitize your hands. Now you must log your high-touch inspection on your Synovia tablet. It will be under the inspection tab. Now you can sit down, buckle up, start your bus, and proceed with your next route. Let's go over our additional COVID protocols. Managed seating. Pre-K, K, and First are to sit in the front seats for both the AM and PM runs. In the AM, you will tell all other students to load from the back to the front. Unloading at the schools will be done from the front to the back. When loading at the school in the afternoon, try to load your last stops in the back of the bus and work forward with the students getting off first in the front seats. Don't forget to keep the pre-K, K, and first graders in the front few seats. Because a possible need for student contact tracing may arise, you will have assigned seating for every run, and a completely fold-out seating chart for every run. Remember, middle and high school students are restricted to 2 in a seat. Do not exceed more than 2 students in a seat. Elementary students can be more than 2 to a seat. For on-lot parkers, your bus will be sprayed with disinfectant fog after your morning and afternoon run. Just park in your normal park location and your red fogging lanyard, and it will get done. Off-lot parkers will have a designated sanitation station at one of the schools in your zone. Consult your supervisor for more information. Let's go over your post-trip procedures. Park your bus in its park location, engage the parking brake, and shift to neutral. Check your gauges. Make sure you have at least a half a tank of fuel. Shut off your headlight and all your fans. Then turn your ignition to the off position and pump down your brakes. Now walk your bus. Go to the back of the bus checking for students, left belongings, vandalism, and trash. Shut off the student alarm, making sure that the lights flash. On your way to the front, continue to check for students, left belongings, vandalism, and trash. Check your seatbelts. Make sure they are not damaged and that they are all accessible. And close all open windows and vents. Hang your red fogging lanyard so your bus can be disinfected between runs. If you need fuel, you will also have to hang your yellow fueling lanyard. Make sure the lanyards are hanging in the middle of the window. Check your disinfectant spray. Make sure you have enough for your next route. Put the manual door switch to the open position. Open the service door. On your way out, check your hand sanitizer and make sure that you have enough for the next route. Now check the outside of your bus for any body damage. Look under the bus for any leaks or hanging wires. Check your tire, wheel, and lugs for any damage. Remember to do this for the right side, back, left side, and front of the bus. Next, you must log your post-trip inspection under the Inspection tab on your Synovia tablet. Don't forget to digitally sign your inspection to log and finalize it. Don't forget to empty your trash and put a clean trash bag in your trash can. Now it is time for you to clock out. Once you are off the bus, don't forget to close the service door. Now let's review. You must wear a mask at all times while student or staff are present. For added protection, face shields are recommended for loading and unloading students. You must sanitize your bus after delivering students or before picking them up. Disinfectant spray will be provided. Don't forget to log the high-touch inspection on the Synovia tablet. You cannot force the students to wear a face mask. You need to check your sanitation station. Make sure you have enough hand sanitizer for your students. And remember, no more than 2 middle or high school students in a seat. Elementary students can sit more than 2 to a seat. Don't forget to hang your red fogging lanyard so that your bus can get disinfected after the AM and PM runs. If you need fuel, hang your yellow fueling lanyard with your red fogging lanyard after your morning run.